The air hung heavy in the Los Angeles courtroom. Silence filled the space, thick with anticipation. All eyes were on the jury foreman, his face an unreadable mask. He held a piece of paper, the verdict slip, containing the fate of rapper $1 AP Rocky. The charges: 2 felony counts of assault with a firearm, the alleged victim former friend and collaborator Terrell Efron. After weeks of testimony, legal battles, and intense media scrutiny, the moment of truth had arrived. The foreman inhaled deeply. "Not guilty," he declared, his voice echoing in the hushed courtroom. A wave of emotion swept through the room, a mixture of gasps, sobs, and sighs of relief. For $1 AP Rocky, real name Rakeem Mayers, it was a moment of vindication, his face breaking into a wide, relieved smile. Beside him, his partner, the music and fashion icon Rihanna, mirrored his relief, tears welling in her eyes. The tension that had gripped the courtroom instantly dissipated, replaced by a palpable sense of release. Mayers, who had maintained his innocence throughout the trial, finally allowed himself to exhale. The weight of the charges, the scrutiny of the public eye, the uncertainty of the past months, it all seemed to lift in that singular moment. His gaze immediately flew to Rihanna, her unwavering support a beacon throughout the ordeal. Their eyes met across the short distance that separated them, a silent conversation passing between them, a mix of relief, gratitude, and overwhelming love. In the next instant, he was on his feet, crossing the space between them, pulling her into a tight embrace. The charges against Mayers stemmed from a heated confrontation back in November 2021. The location: a Hollywood recording studio. The heart of the dispute: a disagreement between Mayers and Efron, once close collaborators whose relationship had soured. The prosecution alleged that Mayers, in a fit of anger, had fired his gun at Efron not once but twice. Efron, in his testimony, painted a picture of a heated argument that escalated quickly. He claimed Mayers, accompanied by 2 associates, had approached him, words were exchanged, and the situation spiraled out of control. He described the fear that gripped him as Mayers allegedly brandished the firearm, the deafening sound of gunshots, the panic that ensued. It was a harrowing account, one that the prosecution sought to solidify with a compelling narrative woven from witness testimonies, surveillance footage, and forensic evidence. The defense, however, presented a starkly different version of events. They argued that Mayers, a well-known figure in the music industry, was the victim of an attempt at extortion. They portrayed Efron as an opportunist, someone looking to capitalize on his former association with Mayers for financial gain. The defense claimed that the gun in question was not a real firearm but a prop, frequently used by Mayers in his music videos and film projects. They maintained that Mayers had acted in self-defense, fearing for his safety during the altercation. The prosecution, in its attempt to prove Mayers' guilt, presented a case built on a combination of eyewitness accounts and physical evidence. They produced surveillance footage from the recording studio, grainy images that they claimed showed Mayers holding a gun. They presented maps of the area, pinpointing the locations where the alleged shots were fired. Furthermore, they brought forth witnesses who claimed to have heard the gunshots and seen Mayers fleeing the scene. The defense, however, meticulously chipped away at the prosecution's narrative. They argued that the surveillance footage was inconclusive, the images too blurry to definitively identify the object in Mayers' hand as a gun. They challenged the credibility of the prosecution's witnesses, suggesting that their memories were unreliable or that they were motivated by personal biases. The defense team emphasized the lack of any DNA evidence linking Mayers to the alleged crime. Central to the defense's strategy was dismantling Efron's credibility. They painted him as an unreliable witness with a history of legal and financial troubles. They highlighted inconsistencies in his testimony and accused him of fabricating the assault for financial gain. The defense argued that Efron had threatened Mayers with legal action unless he received a substantial sum of money, suggesting that the entire incident was a calculated attempt to extort the rapper. The not guilty verdict marked a significant victory for $1 AP Rocky, clearing his name and allowing him to move forward from the shadow of the charges. Yet, even as he embraced Rihanna, the relief etched on his face couldn't fully erase the ordeal's toll. The trial, a highly publicized affair, had undoubtedly taken its toll, subjecting him to intense public scrutiny and impacting his career. While the criminal case had reached its conclusion, the legal battle was far from over. Terrell Efron's civil lawsuit against Mayers, filed months after the alleged assault, loomed large. Efron was seeking damages for assault, battery, emotional distress, and negligence. Adding another layer to the legal entanglement was a defamation lawsuit Efron filed against Mayers and his legal team, alleging that they had tarnished his reputation and caused him significant emotional distress. The $AP Rocky trial served as a stark reminder of the complexities of fame, the blurred lines between public persona and private life, and the lasting consequences of fleeting moments of conflict. As Mayers stepped out of the courtroom, arm in arm with Rihanna, into the barrage of flashing cameras, the questions lingered. Would he be able to fully move past this chapter? Would the lawsuits cast a shadow over his newfound freedom? Only time would tell what the ultimate impact of this ordeal would be. One thing was certain: the road to justice, even when paved with a not guilty verdict, can be long and arduous.